Hey, welcome back to Cards and Comics. Hope you had an epic day. My name is Jason, and I want to take you through another comic book mail day for me. And I'm going to start by showing some of my most recent Alex Schomburg comic books I've been getting in. So I'm going to start with Startling Comics number 33. This did come in with a little bit of a chip in the top of this case. Unfortunately, but I still have the comic book. As you can see, 5.5. It is a war cover from 1945. Nice color. Again, you know, cover-wise, it's really sharp. Just, you know, I like these Startling Comics. I like, you know, good value, war comic. And, yeah, next up, America's Best Comic 6.0, number 27. So we got Mr. Black Terror on this cover. This is one of those, it's not really an infinite, you know, like it doesn't, you know, it shows her painting him. But then, you know, it's like, you know, it has those infinite, you know, where you get the same photo being kind of shown over and over, like a photo of a photo. But it's a cool cover. It's got, I think, it's Miss Mask. The woman in red there, giving him I guess, painting a cover to the comic book. And, you know, obviously having a woman in red on the cover is great if you're looking at, you know, future value. So again, America's Best number 27 from 1948. Some Golden Age fun there. Next up, had this one a little bit, but I haven't shown it off yet. It's a Black Terror number 25. Again, I like this one because it's kind of like I elect the Black Terror for something. He's running for something. So anyway, it's kind of a cool book. I liked all Black Terror books. Let's see if we can get him to stand up back here. Yeah. Very nice, Mr. Terror. Try to get him all situated here. There we go. All right, there's some other books I'll show in a minute. All right, another day, mail day here. Oh, before I get into that one. And then the Fighting Yank number 19 from 1947. Not a war cover, and actually pretty much a Western cover. You know, kind of is what it is. I mean, in terms of content, I do like, you know, it's obviously 7.5. It's a nice grade. It's an Alex Schomburg cover. But yeah, I mean, these kind of covers are fairly cheap on the secondary market nowadays, and I think undervalued. You know, and just in terms of just, you know, how nice they are, and nice to have, you know, a cover that is, you know, I mean, not every cover has to be, you know, cleavage and and war, but from the Golden Age to be cool. So I mean, it'll never be the biggest covers from Schomburg, but you know, as a completist, you know, I definitely want all of those books I can get like that, and it's great to have some Schomburg books that don't break the bank. Here is X-Men number 244, first appearance of Jubilee, and a 9.8. So I recently picked this up. Again, it's a key first appearance, so I like that. So that will be why, you know, it's in my collection. You know, key first appearances are always, you know, things I look for. So yeah, it's a cool book. Glad I found a nice copy. And I think, you know, books like this, you know, I think Jubilee, Kitty Pryde are fairly cheap, and they're obviously core, you know, modern X-Men, and it's always surprising me how cheap books like this are compared to other first appearances of characters today. But here you go. And yeah, we'll start some unboxing of some new stuff I haven't seen yet. I got one more book here. And it is the Wonder Woman Milo Manera Italian, they call it museum copy or museum version. So no, it's virgin variant. Yeah, I just think this is just a beautiful cover. I think he does a great job. You know, I think people who don't like his artwork are kind of, yeah, he does erotic work, but he does beautiful work in general. So I mean, regardless, I think it's a great cover, and I think it'll be one of those books that people want in the future. So yeah, I'll set it aside here so it doesn't get mixed in with the graded books. We'll start opening up some new stuff. Haven't really opened up a lot of new stuff for comics in a while. I've been really focused on some of the cards, you know, and you know, I've invested heavily in Schomburg the last couple of months, and so you know, Schomburg books are expensive, so I don't get it, you know, quite collect the volume like I do in cards sometimes. And I'm working on still a really big book that hopefully I'll have in October once everything is paid for and the trade and all the stuff finalizes. And this is an example, like trying to open up some packaging, you know, multiple tape, multiple foam, and just, yeah, I understand we like to make things safe, but I count 17 places this thing is taped. And it's a little excessive. I know, the guy here is safe, that's all that matters, but yeah, I'm one of those folks who don't like the excessive shipping if it's not necessary. Now, you know, because I think you can definitely secure a book with only a few pieces of tape, in my opinion. Depends on how you do it. So, what is this book? You know, I've been getting some more modern variants, you know, picking up some modern books when I get a chance, just to keep myself in the game. Yeah, I think it's in backwards, so, or maybe not, I think it is. Let me flip it over here. I don't usually see that very often, the books put in backwards, but maybe it's not backwards. Maybe I'm just looking at it upside down. Nope, it is. Oh, look at that. Venom 25. Yep, that's the variant cover. That's the book a lot of people like. Yep, Venom 25. That's it's a little of a hotter new book. Yeah, I don't know why the person loaded it backwards. And kind of made me have to look through it, but there it is, back in its holder, and yeah, that's a lot of fun. Venom 25 variant. So there we go. Next up, here we go. Yeah, and like I said, some of this stuff I've kind of been setting aside for the last month. So this is like a monthly, you know, like, yeah, this is a lot of books all at once. Just because I haven't really been keeping up with, you know, opening up everything, and like I said, I've just been kind of going out and buying some variants and books when I get a chance. There we go. You can see the tape and packaging on that one. More tape. There we go. Tape. Tape. More tape. This is hard tape too. This is like heavy duty packing tape. And then I'm to the blue tape, which we all know the blue tape is much easier to get through. Usually it peels really nicely. You don't have to do much to get the tape off. And what do we got? I think this might actually be a vintage book. We'll see. I don't have many raw vintage books. But this one, Kama-I, Wonder Woman 199, and it's in really good shape. I'm looking at it right now. A little bit on that corner there, but this is a cover that, you know, I don't think that anyone can do today. You know, in chains, the head's been axed. Yeah, this is definitely not going to happen today with modern comics. I think it's cool to see it in the Silver Age here, you know, and I think it's just, you know, one of those books that you just won't see this kind of cover made again, you know. And I think this is, you know, I think 80s you may have saw some of these books like that were in modern Marvel, but yeah, I think this was, you know, something that you don't see very often, and some of the more modern. I thought it was just one of those books that might turn into a little bit of a more of a classic. So there we go. Let's see what we've got in here. Like I said, it's, you know, I collect mostly modern variants. Obviously key comics when I can get them. And, you know, Alex Schomburg. Alright, this is a cool book for me as a Spider-Man collector. It is Spider-Man #1 variant with Miles and Spider-Gwen kissing. It was sold as kind of their first kiss. But, you know, I just think it's, you know, one of those books. It's a cool cover. I think as a Spider-Man collector, I'm always going to like books like this. And we'll see if it turns into something in the future. But, you know, like I said, I just like the cover. You know, where Venom, you got the Knoll and all the, symbiote goodness going on here. This is really just kind of a cute cover. I think people really like this couple in the Marvel universe. So, yeah, I think people will want that cover from now until then, for a while at least. And, you know, Miles is popular right now. Here we go. I'm going to open up a big box here, and this comes from Very Gary Comics. I don't know if a lot of people probably know his YouTube channel. So he just recently did a live auction on YouTube. First time I've ever done a live auction like that, and here's what I got. I got some books from that live auction. Here we go. I got obviously a graded book and some raw comics. I thought things sold pretty reasonable for what I bought. I mean, I bid on a lot of things I didn't get. So there's the first book I got, Spider-Man #300. Obviously, everyone's seen this book before. I got an 8.5. I've got other copies of this book. I thought this was a good price. I just picked it up. Again, I pick up books like that when I can. I got one at CGC right now. I got a 9.6 last year on a book I picked up raw. I got another one at CGC right now. I'm grading through a friend of mine. We'll see what it comes back. And again, you know, I've had that book quite a bit. It's not really rare, but it sells incredibly well. Having inventory in that book is hard because you just sell it as soon as you get it. But again, back to the auction, it was really well run. These two books I won here, I took them, and I kind of looked at them for a while. You know, I wasn't looking to buy books like this, even though I'm a huge fan of this series. I've got, you know, the entire run of this series already. I actually collected it as just a reader, never thinking it was going to turn into anything, and then now it's popular. So you can see what he wrote to me. Open slowly. Thank you. I say thank you to him. It was a very well run auction. I'm hoping to, I hope he does it more often. Let's see what we got here. Oh, something fell out. Let's see what we got here. It's a sticker. Obviously, let's pick it up. Anyone who knows the Very Gary Comics YouTube channel, there is his logo. Hopefully he doesn't mind me showing his logo in my video. And here is the two books I picked up. It is Umbrella Academy Free Comic Book Day #1, or I don't know, I guess the prequel book, and the Umbrella Academy #1 regular. So again, I like the series. I have this book already. As just collecting it from reading it. I don't have this copy or this book, so that was why I really got it. So I got both books at the same time. Very happy. Good auction. I got a Spider-Man 300. I got some Umbrella Academy. You can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong with that. Alright. So we got here. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. See, like, I haven't seen these books yet. I kind of forget what I get sometimes. You know, it's good to see them. You know, it's kind of like your children. I haven't seen them yet in a long time. Bought some of these books, you know, over a month ago. I've just been sitting on them, waiting to do a video. Right, another box with lots of tape. There's one. There's two. At least 2 places is taped. It said 12, just an improvement. My box pile is piling up. There we go. Venom 4. There we go. That's a great cover. Love that cover. It's black. It's going to be hard to grade, but Venom 4, it's what people are dying over right now. Like I said, yeah, I like that whole series. I'm collecting that. Key books, all variants, and yep, Venom 4. Going with my Venom 25. Look at that. That whole Donny Cates run is worth something. At the end of the day, if you've got that whole run, it's going to be something special to keep. All right, one more. I got another big box here. Hopefully I can get into it. Oh, now I got the box inside the box. All right, I think I know what this is. So sometimes you buy a lot of books to get a few. And that's what this lot was. Now, I do like every book in this lot, so don't think I'm not into the rest of the books. But you'll probably know which book I'm actually wanting when you kind of flip through these. If it truly is the books I think it is, because I have not, I don't buy big collections like this very often. So here we go. Batman 424. Here we go. Batman 425. Batman 430. I always like these, these late 80s, early 90s Batmans. I mean, somewhere below there lurks a madman with a rifle and a secret the Batman dare not face. Somewhere below is the fatal wish. Yeah, I mean, like, they just don't do that anymore. I mean, it's like, how dramatic that is. This is very serious stuff. I mean, now we got Batman, doing stuff that, isn't quite as serious. Here's Batman hanging upside down, 431. Here's 432. 433. The many deaths of Batman, 434. And I know you probably understand I hid the book at the end, 435. And then, yes, here is the book I actually was wanting to get, the Todd McFarlane. The McFarlane number 423. It's in really nice shape. It's got a little ding there. That's really nice. No real corner ticks. So the reason I got this because in general, I really like that McFarlane, how he signed right there on the bat symbol. When I look at collections on eBay like this, when people collect books, they typically keep them all in one kind of condition, right? So when you look at a collection like this and you see these photos and you look at these spines and you look at in the photos, these are all, I mean, I probably books kept in, a long box, long box books. The guy who bought them probably didn't read them, or read them once and threw them in the long box. And knowing that the whole collection looked this nice, every book in this lot looked very similar in grade, that I wasn't going to get the key book was 423 and have it be just trash. That can happen sometimes when a book gets really valuable. Sometimes they'll sell the mint copy and replace it with a real crappy, a real crappy beater copy, just so that the collection is still complete. That's not the case here. Good copy. Batman 423 is skyrocketing in value. That McFarlane cover is obviously amazing. I think it's going to turn out to be obviously a key comic cover in the future. I think McFarlane's stuff is actually, especially on his later Spider-Man runs, is a little undervalued for the impact and how popular he is as a creator, and everything he's done, for the hobby. I think some of that later Spider-Man is, worth more than $3 or $4, which is what some of those books sell for. I mean, I know you're gonna tell me that, well, if I saw it for $3 or $4, I buy every book. I'm here to tell you that they're out there at $3 or $4 all the time. I know some of the later stuff. So, some of the stuff that's not popular, like stuff that doesn't have Mary Jane or Spider-Man on the cover. But yeah. So here is Batman 578. So we have 423 and now we got 578. And again, we got McFarlane on the cover of Year 2 Part 4. And obviously not as iconic. It's not got all those sharp angles. I mean, you can see Spawn in 423, right? I mean, that's literally Spawn. This is, a much more toned down version of Batman, and obviously still some angles, and that cape is still pretty Spawny, but it's not anything like 423, right? I mean, if you just compare the two, and Batman's more rounded, not as angular. You can see, his face not shadowed. It's just, this is classic McFarlane. This is obviously, he's probably comboing up the cover with Marcos, so obviously, you know, maybe not all his work, but it's a, you know, it's an early McFarlane book. It's Batman. It's cool. All right, heading towards the home stretch. Hope you like the video. You like some of the comics I collect. Trying to keep it moving here. It's hard. I mean, comics are hard to open. You know, it's just like there's a lot of packaging. Sports cards, you got a little easy to open one. We call them bubble wrap, bubble mailers, and comics always come in multiple packaging, and then you gotta be careful not to damage anything while you're opening it. All right, I think these might be some variants I got from one seller all at one time. I like to do that. If I see some cool books from a seller, you know, I might just, you know, especially if I don't know the book that well, I just like the covers. And I, you know, obviously I look at past sales to see, you know, what a good price is. But if they're moving up in value, I might just grab them. So Dr. Tomorrow, Peach Virgin, $30. We'll see what we got here. Obviously, there's more than one book here, so let's see if we can separate some of this. There we go. There is a lot. There's a few books in here. Now, I got a lot of tape still. I mean, again, this is where I get it. Look at this tape. Okay, I got Jenica #3. That's a cool cover. That's why I got it. But I got all this tape to try to navigate through to get to the book. Yeah, it's just, yeah. And that's the protector that's protecting the book. There we go. So now I got that off. I think I can peel this piece off. There we go. All right, so book 1, IDW Jenica #3, the Thor variant, or it's actually probably Beta Ray Bill, right? So cool variant. I like that cover. I like that swipe. Here's the second one. There it is, the Dr. Tomorrow #3, Peach Momoko variant. I like Peach. Nice cover. Yeah, I like it. I go to conventions a lot. Her stuff does really well. And here is Venom 25 again. Here is number 109 of 600 by Gabriele Dell'Otto. Virgin. So there you go. There is I think that's a really cool variant. I like variants modern. As you can see, anything to do with Spider-Man. So yeah, and you see on the back there is what it says: Virgin variant up to 600 copies. Art by Gabriele Dell'Otto, 109 to 600. It's the Scorpion variant, as you want to look it up and see what it's worth. All right, final comic book opening. Thanks for staying with me so far. If you're still here, I appreciate it. This is going to be the hardest one to get into of the day. I should have probably looked. Yeah. This is El Tipo job. Just got tape everywhere. It's just hard to get into the actual package around all that tape. There we go. Send it off. Trying to see where the actual the part of the package that actually opened up. There we go. Found it. And that should help. There we go. Now we're in. Now we're cooking the gas. We'll see what we got. Now, I do sometimes buy these really cheap books, you know, like to fill in runs. So I'm hoping that this isn't a book that's like a $2 book I bought to fill in a run of a series I've been collecting since I was a kid, with like 400 pounds of tape on it. It's always frustrating. You spend 20 minutes opening the package and you find out it's a $2 Robotech comic book from the 80s or something. Oh no, this is not that. I got this and I was super pumped when I saw it. The Ice Cream Man, which is a series about, you know, serial killer, and with the Dr. Seuss, I think July or August was Dr. Seuss month, something like that. And so they did this Dr. Seuss cover, books for buggies, people go crazy, who knows why. Yeah, so this is just cool cover. I know it's kind of blowing up. I don't think it's going to stay hot forever, but it's a lot of crossover appeal. I just think it's a cool cool comic. Got cards on my brain a little bit. But yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's cool. I put it in my collection. It's going to be something to keep for a little bit. Take it to some, you know, if I ever get a chance to go to another comic book show and set up, you know, I'll take it with me. Because these are the books, and the reason why, I mean, just to give you an honest opinion is, you know, these are table grabbers. You know, people want to come by and look at your back issues. This is the $3 to $5 books that you sell a lot of. But you put these kind of cool variants, the variants people want, that McFarlane, you put the book like this on the table. A lot of people want that book, and they're going to just stop at your table and look through your rest of your books, and you might sell them a big book. I mean, I had dealers at the last show I set up in Saratoga, and they told me directly that nobody buys Golden Age and nobody buys CGC books. They're too expensive. You know, this crowd doesn't buy that. And I had a lot of people come by and look at my, you know, my wall books or the books like this I had out. And I sold 3 or 4 high dollar Golden Age books at that show, you know, without coming way down on prices. You know, because people don't see those books, and they just started looking around and they started seeing all the stuff I had from silver to gold. And, you know, I think, you know, they started with stuff they knew, and a lot of people want to get into that stuff. They just don't know where to start. And if you can talk to them, you know, you can say like, hey, you know, if you like some of these, you know, modern books, you know, it's always good to go back and catch you some of the classics. And yeah, so I don't think that's true. I think you can sell Golden Age, you can sell modern variants, you can sell Silver Age and modern, you know, keys and all that, you know, spec books, all at the same time. You don't have to sell one or the other. I mean, I think I think these comic book folks, they're so used to being so specialized, which is great. You know who to go to for a certain kind of book, but I like collecting everything, and I like selling everything. So, you know, and you can see this is kind of what I do. These are the books I collect. Obviously, I don't, you know, you're not seeing tons of Marvel, you know, Silver Age keys, you know. I do collect those when I get a chance, but, you know, majority of my books are Spider-Man, Schomburg, modern variants. Alright guys, I forgot about today's haul in the mail, so I got 3 more boxes to go, and so I'll get these guys open and we'll see what we got here. Alright, these are probably all going to be slabs, and we'll see what we got. lot of peanuts so far. I'm a big fan of peanuts, I know. Make things easier to ship. Here we go. Alright, so we saw the first appearance of Jubilee, and now we got Madeline Pryor. Again, 9.8. One of my favorite runs, books. X-Men 168. 9.8. So, yep. Another, I think, kind of minor key. I mean, obviously, major X-Men. Like I said, some of those smaller X-Men books or characters don't do quite as well. So, X-Men 168, first appearance of Madeline Pryor. From a very affordable run of Schomburg books. You got Real Life Comics number 15. You got still a war story. You got a Japanese flag. You've got some historical characters. 4.0, this is from 1943. Again, this is why, some Schomburg books, there's, sorry, I got some glare here. Yeah, I mean, it's just, again, you get something pretty affordable with some good content. Again, I mean, that cover is, it's really nice. I mean, if that said Marvel, like say USA Comics or, Flash or whatever, I mean, that cover would be worth a lot more. I got this, sad to say, cheaper than I picked up almost every other book in this whole lot in terms of graded books. I paid for the first appearance. I paid more for the first appearance of Madeline Pryor than this book right here. So yeah, you can see that some of the value there is just I think a little skewed. Again, first appearance of X-Men, cool book, but I mean, a 1943 Schomburg cover with World War II, cover art. Seems like that book would be worth more than a little over $100. But that's where we're at. I shouldn't complain too much about prices because everything else prices have gone kind of nuts away on. So still nice to find some value. And some books that are fairly tough to find, in my opinion, and from a really good artist. So again, obviously as things go, those kind of books may not be cheap forever. So, but they are off-brand. So, that's the one thing about comics that's very consistent is non-DC, non-Marvel books. Outside of a few exceptions, and the vintage side just don't do as well. Alright, my last book is really cool. I will show you the crazy tape and job I'm working through right now. Lots of blue tape, which is better than other tape. Alright, so Firepower #1. So this is the new Robert Kirkman series from Image. Firepower, and it's the gold variant. It's just a little bit of a spec play. I just got it. Kirkman, he's got a good track record. We'll see. I mean, I've got a first appearance. I got the first Invincible as well. I think that's going to turn into something eventually. But first Firepower, gold variant. We'll see. We'll keep it for a while. See how it goes. So thanks for joining me on this pretty big comic book opening. I haven't done one of these really since I started the channel. I had a small one. But just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I collect and in kind of the books that I've been getting in, and I hope to do more of these in the future. I will have a really significant Schomburg reveal coming up soon. Hopefully, you know, I think it's going to probably hit somewhere in October time period when that deal gets done with all the bits and pieces. And once that's done, I will show you that book, and that will wrap up my 2020 pretty well in terms of Schomburg books. So more to come on that, and hope you guys had a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.